Hey, everybody. Welcome to 13 Now by News Channel 13. As always, I'm your friendly neighborhood news anchor, Steve Cooge. And we got a real treat today because I got my buddy, meteorologist Craig Gold here. Craig, thank you for joining us. And this is a special treat because this is the first time Craig has ever done 13 Now. I think I brought it up to him. I'm like, hey, man, you got to help me out. I need you for the
I'm
weather
like,
to do 13
what are you
Now.
talking about? 13 what? No idea what you're talking about. Like, this must be new.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Craig usually does like the weekend mornings and a lot of morning stuff. So I think you get it check out of here before you have to even worry about any of this other web stuff, huh?
Yep, typically. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm pretty much on weekends. I mean, I'm on weekend mornings now at this point, and occasionally I'll fill in during weeknights. So every now and again, you'll see me pop up at night and say, "Why is Craig not on in the morning?" But that's the beauty of the weather team, I guess. One of us has to take off. There's always somebody willing to kind of jump in and help out. So
I feel like this is kind of like a personal achievement for me because I've only been doing this like a couple of weeks now. And usually like Rachel TD would be here being like, Steve, you got to push this button, not push that button. And so to be able to like run this by myself and explain to someone else how to do it, I've come full circle.
Training wheels are off.
I still need to wear like the helmet and the elbow pads, of course, because it is a sloppy ride with me. Anyway, we're going to be checking back in with Craig in just a moment. But here is a few of the top stories that we are working on here at News Channel 13, especially coming up here at 11 o'clock at News Channel 13 at 11 on NBC here in the capital region of Albany and our surrounding districts. First off, the big story, many of you have been watching on YouTube, our channel, or just flipped on any of the stations lately. The big story is obviously the return of the bodies of our two fallen New York National Guardsmen. It's a tough story. These were the two soldiers who were killed earlier this month while on patrol during the southern border, working down there. Chief Warrant Officer Casey Frankowski and Chief Warrant Officer John Gracia. A third person was also injured in the crash on March 8th as well. Their remains were brought aboard a New York Air National Guard C-130 Hercules aircraft flown by the Guard's 109th Airlift Wing. It landed today at the Army Aviation Support Facility here in Latham, right about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to have more on their funeral services later, and we'll inform you about that coming up here on News Channel 13 at 11. But we had New York Governor Kathy Hochul in attendance here, along with a lot of other family, friends, and Guardsmen, military service members, all paying their respects to Warrant Officers Frankowski and Gracia. They were great people, and their losses has really taken a toll on this community. It's pretty unusual for New York Guardsmen to lose their life, especially while backing up Border Patrol agents on the southern border, but as family have told us so far, they died doing what their mission was, and their family is proud of them regardless of what happens. We're going to be following more on that, so stay with us. As I kind of teased to, there was a third New York National Guards member who was wounded in this deadly helicopter crash. This is him right here. His name is Jacob Pratt. He's from Rensselaer. He's still in a hospital in Texas, but we have gotten some positive news. Officials tell us he's slowly making some strides in his recovery. Today, the GoFundMe page for Jacob Pratt is out. It is awake. It is up and running. And it just goes to show, we're told, that he is fighting extremely hard, his family tells us. He is aware of everything that's going on, which is a huge improvement because earlier, he was just in a coma for a long time. His family right now thanking everybody for their support and their prayers and their thoughts. The GoFundMe, as you see right there, it's raised over $108,000 so far. So great news for him that he's recovering, and we're very excited about that. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to him whenever he is well enough to travel back here to the capital region so we can talk about what went wrong, what happened on that troubling mission they went on back on March 8th. Well, there's some positive news now because we always like to end things on a positive note. Sticking with the theme of veterans, we have a local veteran. His name is Sergeant Eddie Ryan of the United States Marines. He lives in Lake George. Well, he was critically injured while serving in Iraq all the way back in 2005. Well, Sergeant Ryan here, he's been meaning to want to go back to a reunion party in his honor. The problem is he was just so the injury he received to his brain just doesn't allow him to fly because it's too dangerous. You could have brain bleeds. He nearly was killed in Iraq. He was a sniper and was mistakenly shot twice in the head in a friendly fire incident. Since then, he's been recovering ever since. At that incident that happened back in Iraq in 2005, his fellow Marines were the ones that carried him out on a rooftop, got him to a Black Hawk helicopter, got him to safety. Sergeant Ryan defied the odds. He survived. The thing is, he hasn't seen many of the men who served alongside him that day 19 years ago. So they planned a reunion and a hunting trip in Eddie's honor. But as I mentioned, because of that traumatic brain injury, he just can't fly. What he needs is transportation, an RV. They were looking for an RV. Now they found one. This one is in Georgia. It's being driven right now up to Eddie and his family. So he's going to get his wish. We're told Eddie and his family could not be more grateful for this wonderful gift to them. And, hopefully we get to talk to Sergeant Ryan more here in the future and hear how his reunion goes. And his family tells us after our story here at News Channel 13 aired, we had a group from the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. It's a local charity that helps injured veterans and first responders. Dates back to the 9/11 attacks here. So Tunnels to Towers, they help wounded veterans and first responders, and they saw our story, and they stepped in to hook up Eddie and his family with this RV. So very excited for them. All right, let's get a look at our forecast. We're going to bring in your first warning meteorologist, our buddy Craig Gold. Craig, again, excited to have you here. What is in store for our weather? What can people expect? Because I know we're almost to spring. This is the last day of winter, right? Officially?
Officially, yes. Everybody thought last week, it was looking more and more like we were at the finish line, right? Mm-hmm. The weather was nice, starting to see the tulips begin to bud, spring in the air, right? Well, not so fast. Mother Nature has something to say about that. Just because we on the calendar say it's spring doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to cooperate and end up that way, right? So spring officially beginning at 11:06 tomorrow night. So the first full day of spring technically will be on Wednesday. Let's get into the numbers, though, for this past winter because they're real interesting. We only saw 22.8 inches of snow, at least during the winter months. Now, that's not to say we couldn't add more in the beginning of spring, because that obviously does happen. If you've lived here long enough, you know that we are not out of the woods in terms of snowfall just because the calendar says spring. But you look at the average season, and during the winter months alone, we typically see 53.5 inches of snow. Last year, we saw 54.5 inches. We are almost 31 inches off the mark compared to where we should be. So if you thought it was one of the least snowiest winters ever, you would be correct. It was the fourth lowest winter snowfall we have seen during the winter season. And it seems to me like I might be partially responsible. And I say that because the first year I was here was 2015, 2016. So that's on the list right there. That was even less snowy than this winter. And then if you thought that this was an abnormally warm winter, you wouldn't be wrong there either, because this was literally the warmest winter that we have seen on record since we've been keeping records in 1874. So yeah, that was the winter this year. All right, so what's going on now? Why are we seeing white on the map if it's going to be spring tomorrow? Well, because it's not going to be very spring-like over the next at least 7 days before we may see some changes. There's some upslope snow showers overnight tonight, and we do see some snow showers over the western Adirondacks and parts of the Catskills, some lake-enhanced snow showers, as we've got a piece of energy that's diving on down from Canada, making its way here. It'll bring us a reinforcing shot of that chilly air, and also with that disturbance, it's sort of stirring up the atmosphere a little and bringing some snow showers, at least to the mountains. But for the immediate capital district, travel plans overnight for your Tuesday morning commute, lunch hour, maybe you're grabbing a bite or driving home, no issues. Should not see any problems. We'll go for partly sunny skies. The kids at the bus stop, though, make sure they've got the winter gear, though. They will need the jacket. It will be partly sunny and cold. And tomorrow is going to be a breezy day like today was. Looking at temperatures at the bus stop tomorrow in the morning, right near 30 degrees, and then surrounding hill towns could be in the upper 20s. So as we work our way through the overnight tonight and into tomorrow, we are looking at, again, some lake-enhanced snow showers as we work our way away from the immediate capital district. As far as tomorrow is concerned, yeah, there could be a couple of flakes out there, but most of it, again, will be areas west of the capital region. And then we'll see that next disturbance come through On Wednesday, another clipper system diving on down from Canada. This one with a little more moisture will likely bring a decent chance, at least, of some mixed rain and snow showers from the capital region, and probably mostly snow in the southern Green Mountains and also over into the Adirondacks, where there could be some accumulating snow. So we'll watch for that. Otherwise, in terms of the temperatures over the next few days, we'll drop back into the upper 20s to around 30 overnight tonight. As far as tomorrow, Tuesday's highs, we're looking at lower 40s, just like we saw on Monday. And then as we work our way into Wednesday, it's the same thing. Maybe we'll see a couple of degrees warmer. The normal high this time of year, 46. So that's where we'll be, about 46 degrees. Reinforcing shot of cold air comes through Wednesday night behind that clipper system that brings us the rain snow shower mix. And look at the temperatures on Thursday. About 10 degrees or so below average. It's going to be windy. Wind chills will likely be in the teens and 20s. And as long as that jet stream stays over us or to the south of us, that means the chilly air is with us. And that's going to be with us all the way through the weekend. I do think we will start to see some relief. There are some signs pointing toward the jet stream receding and some milder air working in along the East Coast and across the Northeast. So we'll hopefully see some milder temperatures, if that's what you want, by the time we get to the beginning to middle of next week. So the bottom line here, spring beginning Tuesday, 11:06 p.m. Mountain snow showers over the next few days. Otherwise, temperatures will be staying below average. You forecast overnight, 29, mostly cloudy, chilly, a couple of flakes out there, mainly across the mountains and also west of the capital region. Tomorrow, same deal, mountain snow showers, the west partly sunny, breezy, and cool. And a quick check of the 7-day forecast. After we get past Wednesday with the rain snow mix, we will be looking for dry conditions on Thursday and Friday, but breezy and cold, 30s for both days. And we'll look for some mixed rain snow showers possible on Saturday as we're in the 40s. We're back to the 30s on Sunday, so reinforcing shot of some colder air. But that one I don't think has any staying power because I believe by the beginning of next week should go back to temperatures even slightly above average, probably hit 50 on Monday. So yeah, some ups and downs, typical of what we see this time of year. Again, like we talked about, just because it is spring technically does not mean that we will wind up seeing spring-like temperatures, at least from the get-go, Steve. So,
well, that's good to hear, or not. It's not at all. I walked outside today with
the bad news, depending on if you look at the ski resorts at least. Now, I know that many of the ski resorts at this point will not make snow anymore. They'll stop blowing snow, usually toward the beginning of March. But the good news is we keep these colder temperatures, that will keep some of the snow around a little bit longer for those who like the spring skiing. So
I didn't know they stopped making snow at this point. But I guess it makes sense if they're expecting to tamp down. I guess they think the winter is over and no one wants to ski anymore.
That's the thing. Usually only the hardcores will wind up going to ski during the month of March. Typically it's they get a lot of their business from the casual skiers, right? From maybe the little kiddos that mom and dad signed up for a ski lesson, or they're here for the holidays and they're skiing. That's where most of their business will come from. At least traditionally it did. Although they sell now, ever since COVID, I would say the overall theme lately is they've switched over to selling season passes. That's where they're making a good chunk of their money now. Is selling the season passes, because you've got the conglomerates, right? You've got Vail, who owns a ton of ski resorts. So you've got the Epic Pass, and then you've got the Icon Pass, which is another one where if you buy that, you could ski at a whole number of ski resorts across the country. So
I like the sound of that. Any ski resort across the country. Well, tomorrow is the first official day of spring. It'd be nice to get things warmer, but gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that.
Yep.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining Craig and myself here at News Channel 13's 13 Now. And again, thank you for bearing with us. We try to work out some of the kinks in this new system of ours. But for all the news and headlines you need, head over to our website, wnyt.com. And Craig and I are going to be getting ready for our newscast coming up here in 35 minutes or so on News Channel 13 at 11. So be there or be square. That is so lame. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, now's a good time to sign off on this. But thanks again, everybody, and we will see you later.